The year 1857 witnessed a pivotal moment in Indian history, the Sepoy Mutiny, also known as the First War of Indian Independence. This was not merely a mutiny, but a widespread rebellion against British rule. It shook the foundations of the East India Company's dominion over India. The uprising spread across northern and central India. It saw Indians from different walks of life, sepoys, princes, peasants, and religious leaders, unite against a common enemy. The rebellion holds immense significance. It marked the end of company rule. It ushered in an era of direct British Crown rule in India. The events of 1857 left an indelible mark on the psyche of both the British and the Indians. It forced the British to rethink their policies in India. It ignited the flames of nationalism among Indians. The rebellion had far-reaching consequences. It shaped the future of India. It sowed the seeds for the long struggle for independence. Understanding the 1857 uprising is crucial to comprehending the complexities of British rule. It also sheds light on the birth of modern India. The Indian Rebellion of 1857 did not erupt overnight. A complex web of factors contributed to the growing discontent among Indians under British rule. The East India Company's political policies, especially the doctrine of lapse, angered many Indian rulers. This policy allowed the British to annex kingdoms without a natural heir. The British also implemented exploitative land revenue systems. This led to widespread poverty and economic hardship. Social and religious factors played a crucial role. The Enfield rifle's greased cartridges offended both Hindu and Muslim sepoys. This proved to be the immediate trigger for the uprising. The rebellion began on 10th May 1857 in Meerut. Sepoys refused to use the controversial Enfield rifle cartridges. This act ignited the rebellion. They killed their British officers and marched to Delhi. This marked the uprising's beginning. The capture of Delhi was a turning point. Bahadur Shah II was proclaimed Emperor of India. Delhi became a symbol of resistance. It galvanized Indians across the country. The British fought hard to recapture Delhi. The siege of Delhi lasted over 4 months. The British captured Delhi in September 1857. Another major outbreak occurred in Kanpur, led by Nana Sahib. The sepoys in Kanpur rose up in June 1857. They besieged the British entrenchment. The Battle of Kanpur saw fierce fighting. Nana Sahib declared himself the Peshwa. He held Kanpur before fleeing. Fierce fighting also occurred in Jhansi, Lucknow, and Awadh. Rani Lakshmibai's defense of Jhansi became legendary. The rebels lacked unity and central leadership. This led to their defeat. The Indian Rebellion of 1857 was not a homogeneous movement. It was a mosaic of uprisings led by various individuals with diverse motivations. These leaders, despite their differences, shared a common goal to overthrow British rule. Mangal Pandey, a sepoy in the British East India Company's army, is considered one of the first martyrs of the rebellion. His opposition to the Enfield rifle cartridges sparked the initial revolt in Meerut. Bahadur Shah II, the last Mughal emperor, became a reluctant figurehead of the rebellion. Despite his age and lack of real power, he became a symbol of resistance against the British. Rani Lakshmibai, the queen of the princely state of Jhansi, became an icon of courage and resistance. Her bravery on the battlefield, fighting alongside her troops, made her a legendary figure. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of the last Peshwa, commanded the rebellion in Kanpur. He fought to reclaim his lost inheritance and avenge the perceived injustices inflicted upon his family. These leaders, along with countless other unnamed sepoys, peasants, and civilians, demonstrated extraordinary courage and resilience in the face of adversity. They became potent symbols of Indian resistance against British rule. Their stories continue to inspire generations of Indians. The Indian Rebellion of 1857 had profound consequences for British rule in India. It marked a turning point in the history of British colonialism. The rebellion exposed the vulnerabilities of the East India Company's administration. It led to a complete overhaul of the British Raj. The British Crown, in the aftermath of the rebellion, dissolved the East India Company. The Government of India Act 1858 transferred direct control of India to the British Crown. This marked the end of company rule. It ushered in an era of direct crown rule in India. The British, determined to prevent another uprising, implemented significant changes in their administrative and military policies. They increased the number of British troops in India. They reorganized the army to prevent future uprisings. The British also adopted a more conciliatory approach towards Indian princes and rulers, guaranteeing their continued existence as long as they remained loyal. The rebellion also impacted British attitudes towards Indians. The brutal reprisals that followed the uprising, coupled with existing racial prejudices, further widened the gulf between the rulers and the ruled. This period witnessed the hardening of racial attitudes. It solidified the concept of racial superiority among the British. The Indian Rebellion of 1857, though ultimately unsuccessful in overthrowing British rule, had a lasting impact on India's path to independence. It marked a turning point in the Indian nationalist movement. The rebellion exposed the weaknesses of British rule. It demonstrated the possibility of challenging British power. The shared experience of fighting against a common enemy fostered a sense of unity among Indians. This laid the groundwork for the rise of Indian nationalism. The rebellion also led to significant changes in British policies. The British Crown, after assuming direct control, implemented several administrative reforms. These reforms, though aimed at consolidating British rule, inadvertently sowed the seeds for future self-governance. The introduction of local self-government, albeit in a limited form, provided Indians with their first taste of political participation. The rebellion also led to the growth of the Indian press. Newspapers and magazines played a crucial role in disseminating nationalist ideas and mobilizing public opinion. The legacy of 1857 lived on. It continued to inspire generations of Indians to fight for their freedom. The Indian Rebellion of 1857 was a watershed moment in Indian history. It marked the end of an era. It heralded the dawn of a new age. The rebellion, though ultimately crushed, had far-reaching consequences. The uprising exposed the limitations of British power. It revealed the deep-seated resentment against British rule. The rebellion forced the British to rethink their policies. It led to significant changes in the structure of the British Raj. More importantly, the events of 1857 ignited the flames of Indian nationalism. The shared experience of fighting against a common enemy, the sacrifices made, and the stories of courage and resilience became an integral part of India's national consciousness. The echoes of 1857 reverberated through the Indian nationalist movement. It found its ultimate fulfillment in 1947 with India's independence. The rebellion serves as a reminder of the strength of human spirit when confronted with injustice. It continues to inspire generations of Indians.